what happened to all the jihadis that came across the border that were supposed to jihadi? What happened?
I built this thing from the bottom, they tore it down, I rebuilt it. I give myself a task, you can bet your ass I fulfill it. Yeah, man, I'm talking about Willis, one of the realest to try.
Pulling Thread Podcast, episode 122.
122. 122.
We are here
Live.
the week after Self-Reliance Festival.
This is going live right now.
Live action.
Live.
So what's up? What is today? Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday, the October 9th. Oh, man.
What? Nothing happened on the 7th or the 8th?
Nothing happened on the 7th or the 8th. I don't what happened to all the jihadis that came across the border that were supposed to jihadi? What happened?
Well, I'm glad it didn't.
Why? You know how much more lively things would be if paragliders were flying into the compound with machine guns and shit? It'd be so fun. Oh, my God.
They won't be here.
No, if the paragliders were tunnels underneath the compound, I would be having so much fun right now. Boo, with my night vision on and shit. My Tavor rifle.
You can tell how old he is when his night vision goes, boo.
Yeah, my night vision makes noise when I turn it on. That's on purpose, though. It's like when you take an electric car and you put
The backup sound on it.
You put a noise on there that makes it sound like it has an engine.
The fart sounds.
It's just to let people know.
Tesla has like 100 and something sounds you can
Of course.
pick your thing.
Tesla's cars will dance.
Is that real?
Yeah. It's an Easter egg. That's the thing. That's the problem. That's the actual problem with modern technology is you never had to worry about somebody in the factory at Chevy. You know, when you got your Camaro, you never had to worry about, did somebody put some weird shit in here that's going to let the car do whatever the fuck it wants whenever? Like, all the electric shit, Elon specifically hid Easter eggs in those cars. So Prius has the same shit, but they just ain't telling you.
Do you know when Russia first invaded Ukraine?
Yeah.
That they turned off all the Teslas in Russia?
Yes.
How long till that happens here?
I mean, well, fortunately, Elon Musk is not a democratic shill that would just do the bidding of the federal government. So
Do you know that Congress passed a bill 2 years ago that all vehicles manufactured in 25 and beyond have to have a kill switch on them?
Yeah.
And that they passed that unanimously.
Yep.
But they've already had that, right? Because if you had any vehicle that had not low jack, but what's the concierge service they have that used to come on the
Right.
Cadillacs?
OnStar.
OnStar could disable your shit right then and track you.
Yeah. Well, that is the problem when you go interconnected, right? It's awesome. It's awesome that you could, when you think about it, is it cool that you could make sure your doors are locked while you're in Atlanta because you don't know if you locked your doors, and then you could lock your doors, or you could turn the lights on, or you could turn the lights off, or you can let grandma in, or you can do all that shit. But that means somebody else can do it too.
Yeah, shit's hacked.
There's no, it's like, I'll give you an example, PayPal. PayPal wanted a bunch of I used the shit out of PayPal for 10 years. Like, I was buying stuff off of eBay all the time and just using PayPal. And then they're like, hey, we need all this, in order for you to continue to do this, we need all this other information. And it was bank records and, a fucking driver's, all this shit. And I'm like,
See an example.
I go, no, you don't. You don't need any of that shit. And they're like, well, if you want to use PayPal, and I'm like, then I'm not going to use PayPal anymore because there's no way that you're secure. And they're like, oh, we're secure. Nothing's going to. I'm like, NORAD's not secure. Motherfucking Citibank hasn't been. There's no such thing. There's a fucking 10-year-old in his basement right now who already has access to all your shit. It's bullshit. And so I stopped using PayPal because of that. But again,
didn't they come back and go, hey, will you please use PayPal?
Again, they every couple of months they come back and they're like, hey, bro, please use PayPal. And then they tricked me once where I actually was like, okay, maybe you unfucked all this bullshit. And then I'm like, hook up my PayPal. And they're like, we can't hook up your PayPal because you need to provide all this shit. And I go, okay, then turn my fucking PayPal off, shut it down, get rid of it. And they're like, we can't get rid of it until you give us all this shit. I'm like, fuck you. I'm not doing that.
So
It's
my
a joke.
PayPal is linked to no bank account. Like they can't ever
Yeah, mine wasn't either.
commingle. But we did some weird shit happened a year or so ago. Like we use PayPal as a bank account.
Right.
Like I have debit cards for it, and all the money that came into PayPal, we would just use that to buy materials with. And one day they're like, "You're reaching your monthly balance," and I'm like, "What the fuck are they talking about? There's not. What are they?" So they're like at $46,000. Once you reach $46,000 deposited, we're going to hold any funds past that for a 30-day cycle. I have 40 grand going to like in a week sometimes into PayPal. So I'm like, where the fuck is this coming from? We had done like $2 million in a year through PayPal on some years, and that not quite that, not last year. It was under that. So I just I like turned it off. I just removed it from our website, so no money came into PayPal. And then just out of the blue, after like 2-3 weeks, they're like, "Hey, good news! Your whatever the threshold is, we've raised it to $120,000." When I stopped having any money, all of a sudden they just increase what. And dude, it was arbitrary. Like we've used PayPal for 20 years. I've had that account.
Because you have to understand that the minute you stop using PayPal, so what they were doing was they were paying themselves off the interest of your money that you couldn't touch.
Right. Yep.
So they were making tons and tons of money off of your money that you couldn't fucking touch. And so for you to leave like that, somebody's like, "Hey, we need to fix these so we can make that fucking nugget." So yeah, that's what they were doing. That's all.
So
they were doing.
did you hear about Bank of America last week?
No, what happened with Bank of America?
You hadn't heard this?
No.
So fucking, I don't know how many, but a lot of Bank of America customers woke up in the morning and their bank accounts were at zero. Nobody knew where the money went. Like a week later, they're like, these bank accounts are still at zero. We can't get a hold of anybody at Bank of America. Bank of America has closed the majority, I guess, of its branches. You can't even walk into a lot of, like, they're just not there.
Does that mean I don't have to pay my credit card?
Well, apparently it happened with Citibank also. And they're like, hack. Do you know about Verizon?
Hey, when you're hacking, don't steal the money that people have in their accounts. Kill the balances on credit cards. That's what you really need to be doing if you want to take it to the man.
You know about Verizon?
No, what about Verizon?
So I'm messaging I message all through the shop all day long, right? Cody and I take off probably about 9 o'clock to go to Lowe's. And I messaged Amanda, and it's just saying delivering. It's not ever hitting her account. It's not hitting her phone. So we get to Paris, and I check, and she still hasn't received it. It's just they're spending. I go, "Hey, hit Amanda, tell her we're here, and my phone is not working." So she then texts me, which I don't know has happened. We get all the way back here. She gets Cody's message and goes, "Okay, cool." We come back, and my shit's still not working. As soon as I get onto the property, all of a sudden it sends because I now have internet. So it's not working through the cellular service. Cody's phone works. We're like, that's weird. Must be something with Apple or whatever. So she goes to Down Detector, checks it. 40% of Verizon is down, apparently, across the United States. She leaves at 3:30, 4 o'clock to take the mail. She messages me. Nothing goes through until she gets back on the property where we have the Wi-Fi. Both of us have Apple phones. So our Apple phones were not working through the cellular towers, but Cody's Samsung phone did work through the cellular towers. Just bizarre. And then the next day, it was some other provider was down, and they were saying it was nationwide. And more, you keep seeing shit like this fucking happening, and they're like, "It's a hack. It's a hack." Is it a hack? Who knows? Where's that fucking money at?
It's the less diversity you have in a specific program or a specific thing,
Speaking of diversity,
the more chaotic a failure will be.
did you see another naval vessel run ashore? This one caught on fire and sank.
What was it?
I think they said New Zealand it was it was a fucking Navy ship, like a Navy warship. And They're saying lesbian. This is the third one. These 3 ships that have all run aground, they're DEI hires. This lady she's been put in charge of the ship. She's like the XO of the ship. She's never had any command of any ship. I don't know whether she's ever even been on a ship or whatever, but that's the media that's being put out. This is the 3rd ship in like the last 3 weeks that is running around and sank.
Interesting.
Hit something out in the ocean. And
I mean, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to classify any type of naval accident and be solely based off of the gender or the sexual orientation, because those things happen a lot more frequently than we think they do.
That's what you said last week.
They happen a lot more frequently than we think we do. But there are certain command climate and structures that can create those problems based off of those 2 things. Meaning, if we're talking about a gender issue where we are attempting to put people in positions that they are not qualified for because we are trying to check a box, that is the problem. It's not anything else. What was this? The reality is, if you really take a look at this sailor's SRB, if you really look at their record book, were they really qualified to do the job that they were tasked to do? That is the big problem in the military right now, is we keep putting people in positions that are not qualified to do the thing that they're being tasked to do. And that's why you have these fucking problems.
Even if you had the best fucking woman in the Navy.
Best woman in the Navy.
There's going to be a dude that out fucking performs her in that task.
It depends on the task.
XO in the ship.
No.
You don't think so?
No. I believe that there are plenty of female officers out there that are at the same level as their peers.
Were you ever led by a female officer in combat?
No, never. But again, I was in a different military. I don't believe that. Again,
do you see the FEMA video?
I don't believe it works, but
see the FEMA video. There's a Skype video between all these.
About we're gonna make sure that all the
gay lesbians
are fed first and shit like that. Yeah. All those people should be fired.
Yeah, that's going viral right now.
All those people should be fired. Because again, first off, there's nothing. I don't want to say there's nothing wrong with being task orientated, but what they are doing is they're creating levels of complexity within relief efforts that will only slow down relief efforts. So even if you were trying to help a specific community, you're going to hurt said specific community because you are fucking slowing down the relief anyways.
I don't think
so. All those people should be fired.
I don't think there's a whole lot of gay lesbian community up there in the dirt trail.
Yeah, but what they're saying is what they're saying about that Skype video, because again, everything's content.
It was all from content. March, that video.
Yeah, but what they're saying about that Skype video is that video was talking about the general responses for any storm. Not so if you live in live in Key West and that hurricane hits you, you're going to get plenty of.
Did you see the Trump rally where he where Donald Trump said, "Elon Musk, come on,
and Elon's
take over,"
freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see Elon Musk said that he said this is the most important this is the last election right here. He said, if Donald Trump does not win, I will be put in prison.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I mean that we.
Meanwhile, you have Hillary Clinton out there saying people have to be held accountable for the things they say on the internet.
No, that's not what she said.
What did she say?
She said that we need to censor the internet in order to keep people in power. So
she also said there needs to be repercussion for the things you say, to be a fine, as far as a fine or even an imprisonment.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Fuck Hillary. I mean, here's the thing about. Again, I don't care about what Hillary Clinton says. I don't follow any of the Clinton stuff because the Clintons have already made themselves irrelevant. They used a nonprofit to pad their fucking, to pad their bank accounts. They enjoyed all the lavishry and whatever Epstein Island had to offer. So they've already made themselves irrelevant. Hillary is just trying. When you see Hillary come out and say whatever, she's just trying to be part. She's trying to make herself relevant, even though she's not relevant. She's not part of the political There's nobody in fucking Washington, D.C. right now that is like, yay, Hillary Clinton just opened her fucking mouth. They don't care. I mean, the Democratic Party, it's not the Democratic Party that's putting her out there. It's her own fucking ego and her, you know, psychosis that she feels like she has to be saying something. I mean, look at Bill. When's the last time Bill Clinton has gone out and said some shit?
Yeah, he might not even be alive for all we know.
You know what I'm saying? But he understands. I mean, I'm sure Bill understands that they are fucking totally irrelevant. So
Bill's probably like, just stop putting the fucking stop fucking drawing attention to us.
yeah, I'm sure that's what he's saying.
Do you see Elon Musk said all this bullshit over them going after Trump so much is because they know if Trump takes office, he is going to put out that fucking Epstein list and the Diddy. Between Epstein and Diddy, like that, all that dirt's coming out. All those politicians are on there.
I don't know why.
Because it's already out there.
Yeah, I don't know why people are so focused on the list. They're so focused on the list.
Well, I believe that the people in power that are doing all this shit right now are in fact all on the list.
Well, no, what I'm saying is I don't understand why people are so focused on the list. The list has actually been published. So it's out there. If you take 10 minutes and find the list, that's not what anybody should be asking about. Who gives a fuck? The reality is, who even cares if the person was on the list? That is not a crime. Being on the list is not a crime. What we really should be asking is the FBI
Has all the
why
video footage of
they
the
have
tapes.
hid all that information about crimes committed on the island, right? We're only selectively releasing things. We wanted to curtail the not Prince Harry, but Prince. I can't think of the British prince who. No, it wasn't Charles.
One of them.
Yeah, but we wanted to curtail him a little bit, so we released pictures of him with a fucking underage girl. But again, he took a bath over that, and what is the problem with a dude fully clothed and a woman fully clothed because she was 17 and he was not? That's not a crime. So what we have... There were crimes. We know that there were crimes committed on that island. They haven't produced a single bit of evidence. It's kind of the same thing with Diddy. There were crimes committed on that island, or Diddy's parties. Why is the FBI holding that information instead of using it? Because they're blackmailing motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That's why. Because the FBI is culpable in a criminal action.
Where is Diddy right now?
He's in the Epstein jail.
Where's Ghislaine Maxwell?
I don't know what prison she was originally held in the Epstein jail, but she's somewhere else. She's in some federal. She's probably fucking lacing up tennis rackets and shit.
Probably not.
Yeah. Oh, bro. She's in a Kush. She is in a Kush facility.
Yeah, if she's in custody.
Yeah, she's still in custody. They can't have her out roaming around. That's the other. I mean, again, this is kind of what we talked about with Epstein. When people are like, "Oh, he's alive. He's fucking." No, he's not. He's dead as fuck. Because those people could not have him roaming around a second time. Because again, if we're sitting at the big table, I might give Brandel. We might give Brandel a pass one time. We might be like, "All right, bro, I'm gonna send this fucking bullshit. I'm gonna send this bullshit prosecutor down there, and they're gonna give you a sweet deal. You need to fucking straighten your act up." Brandel gets a sweet deal because we fucking pulled some strings. And then the motherfucker is naked in Florida 2 weeks later with cocaine all over his face. We can't have that because we're not going to pull. I'm not going to use my valuable assets, things that people that I have been grooming in order to maybe save me one day to use on his ass again. So yeah, that's why he's dead as fuck. And Elaine, there's no fucking way she's kicking it in Israel with her pops because it only takes one, because this is how the real world works. It only takes one nerd to be like, I want to know where she's at. And he's going to find her, and then motherfucking all hell's going to break loose. Then you got to kill her.
They keep all those people in Antarctica.
Behind the giant wall?
No, in the fucking lush rainforest.
Hey, by the way,
Shangri-La.
Did you see Red Bull? Did you see Red Bull sent a ship to the giant wall.
Antarctica?
Yeah.
Did they get turned away or what happened?
No. They actually go to, because here's the thing: when people say it's not the when people are like, oh, you're gonna go there and get turned away. There's not like a fucking Antarctica Navy or an Antarctica Air Force or an Antarctica Army that is patrolling around Antarctica that's going to be like, go away. The issue is it's an in-hospital it's a fucking place where the temperature can drop to 54 degrees below freezing. It like that. It's not a place where you go vacation, and it's hard to get there. So if you decide you want to get in your dinghy and dinghy up to Antarctica, you can do it.
So what'd they do?
I haven't seen because I saw it this morning. I haven't finished the whole video. They basically were like, they're in this, a real boat, a big heavy vessel, and they're all like, holy shit, it is a fucking giant wall. And they're just looking at the ice sheet that isn't from, they're like, it is a fucking giant wall. And so they're like,
But what's on the other side of the wall?
well, they're getting closer and closer to it, and then you see this fucking ice sheet just
Shear off. I did see that.
shear off into the water and just create this huge wave that is coming towards them. And they're like, the guy's like, holy shit, what if we were on there when that happened? But I guess they're looking for a spot where they can climb up on top. Anyways, but yeah, I don't know why I got on the ice sheet thing, but you can go to those places. It just costs a shit ton of money. It's fucking,
Red Bull has
still dangerous. Yeah, well, that's why they're doing
These
it.
dudes are parachuting like from space
Yeah.
and then landing in nets. They don't even fucking use a parachute. They don't even deploy a parachute. They're just landing in nets.
Yeah, Red
Have
Bull
you seen
has-
that shit?
That's
Have you not seen this? There's a bunch of people that do it. It's not just the Red Bull guys.
They're, I mean, they've tamed themselves down quite a bit, I think, since the early days.
Yeah.
But, they've got money.
So
They've got Elon money.
You know Michael Jackson's still alive?
No, Michael's not still alive.
Dave. Look up Dave.
He's dead.
Have you seen Dave? Look up Dave.
Yeah.
And then you tell Jeff if you think Michael Jackson's alive.
I can get a video. We can go to Vegas right now. I bet you I can find 10 Michael Jacksons. 10 Jacksons.
Which one's the real one?
The one that was neurotically manipulated by his parents in order to stay 10 years old his entire life, to include chemical castration. The one who had no concept of the real world.
Sounds like the Vatican.
Yeah, well, because the Vatican used to do that. That guy that was spending hours and hours in the fucking in the oxygen chamber, and the dude who was bleaching his skin white, that dude where his nose fell off, he's dead. Michael's dead.
What do you say? You got it?
He's a burn victim.
Yeah. Michael Jackson saved Dave's life.
When he was 7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you see the coroner footage, there's a helicopter up there, and you see somebody get up off the gurney and fucking get out from under the sheet or the bag or whatever and walks away.
Yeah, but you can't. There's nothing you can watch post.
Have you seen the
post
footage?
2000 and say that it's legit footage.
Have you seen Anne Heche, Ellen DeGeneres? Have you seen that video?
Yeah.
Where they said she's dead, the body's mangled, but you see the fucking body sit up and they push it back down, and then they put her in the ambulance.
She's dead too.
Well, they killed her. Where is Ellen DeGeneres and Oprah and all them? They're supposed to be missing right now.
Well, Oprah was
Just did an interview with
fucking Camilla, which was terrible.
How's that all going? Have you seen all that shit?
Oprah or her 60-minute video where we finally, I mean, again, right, left, center, I don't care, but we finally had a news organization actually ask real questions that the candidate was not ready for and ride her about those questions. That's what the news is supposed to have been. But
do you think you made a mistake letting all those illegals in? You guys have let 400% more. Well, we've cut that in half. Okay, so you've let it 200% more then?
Yeah.
You throttled back half of your fucking mistake? What about the other half?
And she wouldn't know because she doesn't do her job anyways.
She's not capable of doing her job. What is her job?
I don't know. When you say she's not capable, okay. And when I say she,
Do you think
wouldn't
she's
know,
actually really smart and this is an act to manipulate, or do you think she's really as dumb as she's portrayed?
I don't know. I don't know. Weinstein talks about this, about how we
Which Weinstein?
he's the one that's not the one in jail, but the one that's currently on the circuit.
The Evergreen, the
Yeah.
fucking scientist dude that got
Yeah, and he talks about how that is that none of that's real.
He's on Rogan a lot.
Yeah, none of that's real. That she is actually smart, just like the same thing. He talks about George Bush. How
I saw that.
Yeah, where he's like,
All this, he's really smart, and then all of a sudden
he's
he's like,
a country bumpkin because that's what people want. I don't know if the reality is I don't know if that's what people want, but the issue with her is it doesn't seem like she's doing anything at all. So I don't know.
like literally answers no questions, has no
But
capability.
again, somebody's running the country. Somebody's running the White House. It's not Joe Biden.
Well, Joe Biden's coming out saying quite a few things that are very counter to what she's saying.
Yeah. Well, when she was doing her big victory lap speech, he came out, they had to cut from her shit to go to Joe Biden because he is still the president. But was that even Joe Biden?
Do you see? She said that DeSantis won't take her phone calls, and then there's a press conference with Biden saying, "I have spoken to DeSantis. We have extended all help that we can give him.
Mm-hmm.
He is doing a great job. He does not need any assistance currently." And he complete countered where she's like, "I call, he won't take my phone calls. Nobody's heard from him. He won't, do anything. Basically, fuck Florida."
Yeah, that's two separate White Houses right there.
Well, I think you kind of have three because then they go and fucking talk to Trump.
Yeah, that's two separate White Houses right there.
Zelensky comes in, asks for a bunch of money, and then has a meeting with Trump. Everybody that comes in to talk to the White House then has a meeting with Trump. And then they want to meet Elon Musk.
Because maybe in the reality of things, and I said this a long time ago.
There are two White Houses.
No, I said this a long time ago, that the Democratic Party has already decided that the whole point of putting Harris and fucking Dum-Dum on the ticket was because they aren't running for they're not trying to win the presidency. They're trying to lose the presidency because they know that we're going into Iran. They know that we're probably going to be fighting the Chinese, and they know that they can't do it. It's easier, when you think about the Democratic Party,
They want Trump to win.
Yeah.
And they want us to go into Iran and have this war.
Yes.
But Trump's immediately going to put an end to that. Do you not think so?
No, Trump won't be able to. Trump won't be able to because he has already said that the military-industrial complex is more powerful than the President of the United States. So Trump won't be able to stop it. Again, we're not trying to, if you kind of pay attention to the tea leaves that we've thrown down on the ground, the reason why Trump won't be able to do anything about it is because there's going to be an incident between Iran and Israel that we will have no choice.
What will that be? Because they're already doing that.
Yeah,
right?
no, they haven't.
What does Iran have that they can throw at Israel that they haven't thrown?
They've got a lot that they haven't thrown.
Like what?
They've got a lot. They've got fucking more missiles, and they could overwhelm the Iron Dome if they wanted to.
So the same missiles, though.
Well, maybe.
Or do they have some new
Maybe.
ordnance nobody's seen?
I don't know. I'm not part of the Iranian Defense Force, but again, the reality is the Iranians are fucking holding back. They haven't declared war on Iran.
Why would they
or
do
on
that?
Israel?
Why would they do that?
Because I say this every week. We've got the fucking Pacific Fleet and 80,000 U.S. forces sitting off the coast of Iran right now going, do something. They know that no matter what happens, this will be regime change for them. No matter what, even if you had some sort of fantasy that Iran could hold out in the long run, all those mullahs are dead. All those fucking generals are dead. It won't be anybody who's in charge now who will be in charge once the United States gets involved. So that's why they're fucking trying to hold back. That's why they're also saying, hey, we're not even going to attack Israel. We're going to attack all the Arab countries. Why? Because they need a bigger war. They need a bigger war to keep the United States occupied. They are definitely not trying to start a war. We are. I mean, think about it. The Israelis are in Lebanon now. They weren't attacked from Lebanon.
Where does Lebanon sent to?
It's off. It's one of their borders. Lebanon is a border of Israel and Palestine. But
what's up with Palestine?
Dude, they're turning it into a beachfront resort.
So will it become part of Israel?
Is it not now part of Israel?
Well, I mean, it was pretty much an open air prison. Is
Yeah.
that not currently there? Is that gone?
That's gone. Yeah, that's gone. That is gone. There's no. Every day they find a new corner of Palestine to evacuate so they can destroy it.
Where are those people going?
Well, the problem for Palestinians is no one in the Arab countries want Palestinians, and so they're just moving from corner to corner to corner.
Why will they not take them?
Because Palestinians are notorious for showing up in somebody else's country and trying to start a revolution with whatever government's in power. So they don't want them. That's what happened the last time. That's what happened when Egypt took in. They don't want them.
So why are people making such a stink of what Israel's doing then? Well, actually, who really is making a stink over it?
Well, nobody. Because
college students here in the United States.
Nobody, because it's Israel. We have this fantasy. We have this fantasy within our culture, within the world culture, that because of what the Germans did in the 40s.
Are those even the same people?
They're not. But what I'm saying is we have this fantasy because of what the Germans did in the 40s that the Israelis can do no wrong.
You always hear Israelites, and people have this idea that those are the Israelites for the Bible. Those aren't the same people.
Well, I'm not going to get
They're not even descendants of the same people.
Not even get into the semantics of it. But again, the state of Israel, we just have this, I don't know, this weird complex that they can't do any wrong, that they can't commit atrocities, that they can't, because they're Israelis. That's bullshit.
What do you think was up with those tunnels they found with those synagogues and shit in New York, where they found all those sublevels and shit?
Oh, that was, I mean, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. That was the Jewish community flipping their fucking finger off at the state of New York, because it was during COVID and they couldn't go to church, and so why the what would you call it, the balls of those Orthodox Jews to fucking start digging tunnels in New York City so they could go to, that's all they were doing, was they were creating a network. They were using existing structures, so existing tunnels within New York City, to connect communities to church so people could go to church. It's fucking awesome. That's as American as it gets. I think. I mean, when people think that there was some other crazy thing that those guys were doing, they were just trying to get to church. But
so what do you think of Self-Reliance? We just, for people that don't know, we just had a Self-Reliance Festival. We just had, I think, 700 people were here. I think that's the number I heard. What's your takeaway from it? What'd you see? A
lot of new faces, a lot of good speakers. I thought it was probably one of the best ones we've had.
I think so.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the best ones we had. It was a good. I mean, the weather was perfect. It was pretty good.
It's actually hot.
Yeah. But people, the tent was full every time a speaker was out there. So I thought it was a good festival this time. We had great comedians.
They were actually.
We had great
good.
comedians. We had great singers. If you didn't stay for the singers and the comedians, you missed out. It was good.
Yeah, we're gonna do a party here, December 7th. Kind of like Overland theme. So
Yeah.
bring your trucks, bring your rooftop tents, bring your tents, your hammocks, whatever. There'll be a bunch of trucks and cool gear. We'll bust out all the gear. Everybody look at everybody's shit. Kind of. If you're a gun dude, come out. If you're a prepper dude, come out. If you're an alumni, come out. We got some night vision guys coming in. We've got some machine gun guys coming in. And then we're just working on vendors. But we got a big tent coming in. We've got some performers, music acts. some fire performers. There's a bunch of shit happening, and that's just day 2 of preparation. Like we're just 2 days into this thing right now.
Nice.
Yeah, it'll be good. What else going on?
Was that for your birthday?
It's around my birthday. It's not
around.
for my birthday.
December 7th.
It's also Kiri's birthday. It's also Pierre's birthday. And then Amanda keeps reminding me that we didn't have a party for her birthday, so I guess it's going to be
All right, Amanda.
her,
Hey,
her birthday.
Let's get a banner. Let's get a banner that goes over the driveway that says "Happy Birthday, Amanda."
We should probably put a roller rink down for her.
Oh man, she would lose it. But she's got a, you know what, roller rink, but get her a dog bite suit that she has to wear while she's roller
A
skating,
puffy suit we have to inflate.
so she doesn't get.
Well, you know, those fucking
hurt.
skates she had were high heel skates. She bought some other skates. I go, why do we have another pair of skates? She's like, well, these aren't high heel skates.
Oh man. Anyways,
She just loves roller skates. We should build a whole wall of them for her.
that'd be nice. Or get her one of those things that they had at the roller skate rink,
The walker
the
thing.
walker
like,
thing,
for
and
old
then,
people.
And then you don't have to worry
For
about her
little kids.
injuring herself. For those that you don't know, she did break her arm.
She did. She broke her elbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. What, anything new going on with you?
No, I did it yesterday, so I don't know. I think I'm at 1,000 yards.
You've cut to 1,000?
I think I've cut to 1,000.
How wide?
Oh, it's only from 800 to 1,000. It's only double arms wide. Cause you have to, as you're cutting, I have to make sure I can see the Connex boxes and shit. So I'm just trying to figure it out before we go wide. So it should be,
Do you not have a drone?
no, I don't have a drone.
It'd make that a lot easier.
Would it? I don't know how that would make it a lot easier.
Pretty sure.
If I had the thing that would make it easier is if I had a really bright laser.
Do you not?
No, I don't have it needs to be kind of big. That shoots all the way through the forest.
You could just get a laser that just burns through the
That would be
forest.
cool too. Because every now and then, what I'll do is I'll hack where I think center is, and then I'll get like 3 or 4 guns and I'll just start shooting the woods, and then I walk through and look for bullet holes.
Well, let's just light a fire down there, see if you can see it.
Walk through bullet holes. So that's the newest thing. Is hopefully we're at 1,000 yards, or we're pretty close.
How far are you going?
The goal was I thought we could get 12, but I'm starting to go uphill, so probably
Yeah,
not.
that's a
Probably not.
problem.
Yeah. But 1,000 yards around here is fucking for that's long.
Unheard of unless you're in a cornfield.
Yeah, it's pretty far. So
Why don't you just get Kent to come over and he'll be like, it's not 1,000 yards. Or he'll be like, yes, it's 1,000 yards.
because Kent is too busy.
Have you asked him?
Not to look at my range, but I've asked him to do some other stuff, and he's like, I'm too busy.
What did he tell you now?
Because we want to build the patios over the
Oh,
Connex boxes. He's like, I'm too busy. It's going to be expensive. I'm going to do some math. And then he never got back to me. I get it. The reality is that the problem with, that's the thing that's the only problem I have with where we live is
I'll give you those 2 guys' numbers.
if you're a moderately good contractor, which Kent is not a moderately good, he's a fucking awesome contractor. But I'm saying if you're a moderately good contractor,
You're working.
you're going to take your whole crew and go to Nashville and make shit tons of money building fucking houses in Nashville. You're not going to stay here. And so if you stay here, you're probably just an average contractor. But because you're an average contractor, you're going to be fucking busy as fuck because there's no one else. There's no competition basically here in any of those services. Not plumbing, not fucking building. There's no competition. You were either the guy. Like, you either know the guy or you ain't getting shit done. That's the problem.
Can you use those 2 guys that came out and looked at it?
I thought those 2 guys were as in the John Wick films, excommunicated.
No, they're just not here.
Oh, okay.
But they're still capable of doing it.
Oh, I
assume they're capable of doing it. I believe that they probably are.
I thought they were excommunicated, so I didn't
I
bring
reached
them up.
out to the one dude a couple weeks ago. I'm like, hey, man, just hope you're doing well. And I never heard back from him.
Yeah. Well, that's the same as excommunicated, right?
Well, I mean, by his choice, I
Yeah,
guess.
but I mean, so
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't show up here. I mean, they could have.
I'm not. Here's the thing, John. I am not going to go get dental work from somebody you fired.
I didn't fire them.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm just not. I'm not gonna go get my heart surgery from a doctor that you let go.
There was a choice, and they chose the other choice.
No, I get it. I get it. Still. So that's what we're working on right now because John, I should say Sperling instead of John. Sperling wants to have the range operational by October, or not October, by January 1. So
Why?
I gotta pick it up. I don't know why he's picked that date, but
Who's coming in? I mean, you got classes going or something?
we haven't scheduled anything like that. But you never know. Maybe Chris Costa will come out and do a fucking lever gun class.
Maybe.
Lever gun. Maybe. I don't know. Something.
Who do you want to see Who do you want to see as a vendor at the party coming up?
You know what? I really wanted to talk to the MVG guys.
Don Edwards or the somebody else?
Who did we have out here?
Don Edwards.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to the MVG guys about some MVGs.
He's got a pretty heavy schedule. I already sent a message to him this morning though. But we do have a NVG guy coming.
Is our body armor guys coming too?
Premier?
Yeah.
I've not reached out to them. I know there's a bunch of shit going on.
Yeah, I know they're busy too, but
right now.
Those are the two I want to see. I want to see body armor and I want to see MVGs. I want dual tubes. I feel like
31s, yeah.
I feel like I'm less of a man because I only have a single tube.
There's a MTech's got a new helmet out that's $1,000, but they got a ballistic out that's like costs less than the others. But MTech's known to have some pretty good shit out there. They got $1,000 fucking bump helmet. I think they have around $1,200.
$1,000 bump helmet?
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody's fucking got $1,000.
Oh my god, $1,000. Your bump helmet is what was it? You'll remember, but what were the SEALs using initially?
Protex.
Was it it was a
For
Protec,
fast rope.
but it was what kind of helmet was it before the Navy? It's the Protec, but wasn't
a caving helmet.
Yeah, it was a caving helmet. Yeah. Now everybody's got to have a fucking $1 billion helmet.
I mean, you're $2,000, dude. I was looking at helmets the other day. They're like $3,600.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna swap out the fucking pad kit. And you're gonna get the Wilcox mount, and then you got the fucking battery supply.
Forget about the Wilcox mount.
Once you buy your $7,000 to $10,000 dual tubes, that's only a third of it. Like,
Yeah.
to even use this shit,
Yeah.
you got to have all this other
You
shit.
got to have all the other shit to go with it. Yeah.
And then you got to have something that projects a fucking dot, right? You got to have the laser or
You
something.
got to have the laser if you're going to shoot with it. Yep.
That's some shit, man.
Gets expensive. It's expensive being a fucking hero.
Stamp out ISIS.
We got to put a stamp on ISIS.
Well,
I did-
Obama created ISIS.
You know what's crazy is they just put out a terrorist report, big terrorist report about all these crazy shit that's going to happen in the United States. And one of the crimes you can commit is providing financial support or equipment to ISIS. It's one of the crimes you can commit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Imagine
weird.
that.
But it's weird that the federal government is giving them millions of dollars every day and they're not being charged with a crime.
They're giving them Blackhawks, and they're worried about somebody fucking sending some PayPal by accident.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
It's
What about
fucking crazy.
Yeah, what about all that fucking equipment that was left over there? Oh, that's the Taliban.
Yeah, but forget about the equipment. Think about the money we're paying them every month.
I'm surprised they're not fucking Sean Ryan better get a security detail
Why?
because he's putting out all their secrets, man. Sean Ryan flew over there and interviewed the head of the Taliban
Yeah. Well, maybe Sean Ryan is an asset.
for the CIA.
I mean, he did work for them.
That's what so Eric Prince, right? People like Eric Prince has a phone. Everybody's like, Eric Prince is the CIA. Did you meet the phone guys that were here? Above phone? Did
No,
you meet?
I didn't.
Okay. Super interesting guys, right? One's from New York, and I'm like, you're the code guy, right? You're the programmer. He's like, how did you know? Come on. And then there's this dude, and I don't really know. He's from not here, right? He's from Pakistan, he says. Fascinating. Like I had several conversations with this dude, and Justin knew like everything. He's like, oh yeah, I've seen the changing of the guard, and I was at the Taj Mahal, and like they hit it off. And we were talking with Brandon, and he's like, yeah, I got a tattoo in Thailand. He's like, oh, tell me about that. He's like, it's a magic tattoo. These monks, like they bless you, and they get the ink is made out of frog's blood, and it's got all this stuff, and it wraps around his leg, and just super, super interesting. So I'm like, tell him, what's your deal with the phone? He's like, well, we have a phone that cannot be tracked. The police cannot open this phone up. We're using graphene, whatever, which Tim Pool's guy always talks about. And I'm like, what? But that's of no use to me if I can't use Instagram and Facebook and these apps. Like, that's all I use a phone. He goes, you can. And then you put it inside this other thing that basically locks it down. So it can't track any of your shit when you're not actively on it. It can't tell. So, like you're on Instagram and all of a sudden when you open Google, Google knows everything you
Right.
did. It locks it all up. It fences it basically. It puts it inside a cage. And then this phone is unfucking trackable. It's not it's not following any of your shit. And they take a Google Pixel 3, I think, whatever the new one is. They have some older ones too. And they fucking completely wipe it, and they put their own operating system on this thing. And they've got a laptop also. Interesting, like neat that it's not being tracked. I could see that, but I mean, it's still going to have a unique SIM card, right? So they're still going to be able to geofence that thing and geolocate and shit. So but they're not going to know who the phone is registered to, right? They're not going to just pull it up, because right now in Nashville, some shit happens, and a fucking shooting happens. They look at everybody's phones that were there, and they're like, oh, Boo Boo LaFufu, he's definitely a suspect. Oh, soccer mom, not a suspect. And then they just fucking go, and they know exactly who to fucking apprehend and bring in for questioning.
I just saw a thing today where these college kids, they created an app for their phone, and then they hooked it up to Google Glass. So the glasses, right?
Oh yeah, I saw
And
the
they
Google
just-
Glass thing.
And they just walk.
I saw
They
it.
just walk. They'll just walk around, and they'll use face recognition.
Tom, is that you? I
to
was at
identif-
your lecture.
to identify you. And so they'll be like, oh, I know who this is. And then they'll start talking about things that you have on the internet. So like your address, all that stuff will pop up because of your face recognition, not because I actually know you, but I'll be able to say things to you that make you think that,
He sat down with this
Yeah.
lady like in a subway or in a tunnel system, waiting for the train, and he goes, Martha. Are you Martha, right? I was at one of your lectures. I saw your lecture about what, and she like just lit up and like just started talking and giving her information. And the same thing with the dude. But you remember, so Dave Lee, Ninja Dave.
Ninja Dave. Yeah.
Do you remember last time or the time before we were at Blade Show, he came out.
Okay. Yeah.
He had the Google glasses. Mm-hmm. And he's like, hey, those are Google glasses. So he takes the pair from the dude and he starts scrolling through that dude's glasses. And that dude had taken a bunch of pictures of Dave at the swimming pool earlier. He's a gay dude, apparently, or whatever. But Dave was fucking with those glasses
Yeah.
6, 7, 8 years ago, probably.
But I think how powerful that would be.
Oh, it's super. If I can just walk up in a crowd, just here at SRF, right? If I could walk up in the crowd and just know the name, that would be so helpful.
Yeah.
Because people are like, John, man, I met you 2 years
Yeah.
ago, and I
Right.
just don't remember. But if I could, even for that benign thing, man, it would be so powerful.
But the creepy thing is he's at the college campus and he's like, Sarah, do you live on blah, 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 blah. Like he's doxing people right there in front of him. Because it's all that information, all that information is technically out there. It's just how you use the program to identify the information. Pretty interesting.
Think about that, man. You're just wearing a pair of glasses, and this thing is scanning everybody you come in contact with, right? So if they've got an AI program running, they could assess right immediately threat, non-threat, target, non-target.
It'd be cool because I mean, I guess if you're like a sex offender too, you're just like walking around like, I would just be sitting there all day just looking at people.
If you're a sex offender,
Well, I'm just
Why are you a sex offender?
okay.
Why?
don't you mean the other way around?
What was it?
No, I'm saying
What was it? You were 18,
You're
she
saying-
was
you
17?
can identify
How'd it go?
sex offenders really easy. So I get that. Cool.
You
point.
touch her, were her bathing suit covered?
Did you ever date a younger girl when you turned 18? Were you still dating high school girls?
No.
No.
Because I went.
Were you out
Well,
of high school?
I was 18 when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess so. But no, I mean,
California.
I can't say her name because she's currently married to my best friend.
I think you just told them.
But she was 17.
But I mean, it's like just history changes, right? That wasn't a thing. It wasn't a problem then in the 80s, right?
No,
It was like a normal thing. Like high school kids, us in high school were mad that the pretty girls in school were fucking guys in college. But nobody was like arresting motherfuckers over it.
well,
It wasn't
you think about it, they still don't.
Tennessee.
The reality is, think about how many college professors are dating students.
True, but that's different.
I know
they're
it's
all
different
over
but
the age. Yeah,
it's different.
I
But it's
mean,
just weird.
Amanda. I think I'm 10 years older than Amanda.
I think the reality is that that kids are more exposed now. Like, okay,
I think kids are
They're-
doing older, mature,
well,
more adult shit now as children.
I think they can just expose themselves more in the sense of, when we wanted a happy picture back then, it would be like,
Yeah. The first
put that under my armpit, hold it there for. But now, like, I mean, it's
we had a dude here at SR. I have some Polaroids in my desk that the two brothers, I think it was the brothers, right?
yeah.
When I walked into my bedroom, there was a picture on my nightstand that was a Polaroid that I did not put there. Totally innocent. It was just two dudes, the brothers, but I didn't put that picture on my nightstand.
So they took a picture of themselves and put it on your nightstand.
Picked my door lock, got in my
Well,
bedroom.
I mean, they're federal agents; they know how to do that.
But I'm
That's John. They call that a no knock warrant.
so
It's amazing that it's amazing they did their no, it's a sneak and peek. It's amazing they did their sneak and peek and we're like, here's a little gift.
this is a pitch. I'm like,
Here's a little gift.
I know I've never seen this before. What is it doing on my nightstand?
Here's a little gift. Just to let you know that we were in your sock drawer, bro.
I hope they found my drawer full of toenails. I've saved all my toenails.
Since when? When did you start doing that?
20 years.
I mean, it's a noble idea because you think
It's
about
taking a very long time. I really want like an old antique glass sparklets jar.
full of toenails.
Yeah.
Can you melt them down?
I don't know.
Why would you melt them down?
You know what it is?
Or a knife?
No, it's maybe
oh.
it's keratin. It's the same shit your hair's made of, so it
That's-
smells like hair. I also want a
toenail
sparklets jar
sword?
full of human teeth.
I think that would be easier to get.
Yeah, it's taking a long time.
Yeah, but I don't think you're really searching.
My toenails are growing much faster nowadays.
I'm sure that there's a dental office in Camden where the walls are full of teeth.
But I want it all related. It has to be people I know.
I got a few you can have.
I know.
What? Teeth?
Justin,
No, you don't have
dude,
you don't have no extra teeth, bro.
dude, I got a tooth in the mail. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then Justin hits me up. He goes, did you get the package? I go, which package? How do you know about the package? He goes, I had to have a tooth pulled. I knew you wanted it, so I sent it to you.
Oh, it'd be awesome. What you should do is
You want to get me a gift?
What-
get me one of the bones out of your body.
with a tooth like that where somebody sends it to you.
I have it. It's in fucking formaldehyde sitting on my desk.
You ought to get it engraved with his name.
I would wear it.
Yeah, just engrave it with his name on there.
3 you can have. I'm gonna get taken out probably in the next.
Why are you getting teeth taken out?
Yeah,
I've
what
got
what are you
3
doing there?
wisdom teeth.
You don't get your. Who's
Then why-
telling you to take them out?
Why are you
This
getting your
one's
wisdom?
crooked.
So
So, what's it?
There's
What?
not one in this side.
So, you know it's aesthetics. It's only for looks. Your
You
teeth
don't
look
need-
good, dude.
yeah, they're gonna shift the minute you fucking pull those teeth out.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna come in here and have a big old fucking gaff in shirt. Then you'll be the hillbilly that you really are. No, you don't ever
The chicks with a gap in their teeth are kind of hot. They
Don't-
can whistle weird.
don't remove something just because that's a no. That's negative. I have all my wisdom teeth.
You're not really using your testicles. Can I have those?
All my wisdom teeth.
I might use them.
When?
My,
want the exact
well, he can
date.
give them back to you.
I'll let you
Okay,
borrow.
you know he'll keep them in a jar and shit.
Maybe I want to have a kid.
people like
maybe.
people like I'd trade my left nut for an SOE
No,
strider.
you wouldn't.
I'm like,
No, you wouldn't.
I would- I
we
would
have. Hey, we have a. No, I'm not going to say it because then the testicles going to show up in the mail.
Have you ever seen those fake testicles they put in? It's
uh,
like the clear sack.
so I haven't seen them, but you know Robocock, right?
No.
Lorena Bobbitt. You know
Oh,
she
yeah.
cut her husband's cock off, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So and then threw it out the window.
Yeah.
Right.
And the police recovered it and they sewed it back on. You know, he's done porn, but he has an erectile problem. One of his
Well, his cock
testicles
was cut off.
One of yes, that's a problem.
That is a.
One of his testicles is a Reebok pump.
That's sick.
Is it? Are you sure
Sick,
it's a Reebok?
sick good or sick
Yeah,
bad?
that's awesome.
No, it's not. Like, but it does that. He has to pump it
yeah.
up to have the
I thought they
erection.
installed a real
So it's
Reebok.
no, it's like a blood pressure
That'd be
cuff.
awesome. Your old lady's down there.
I mean,
and then she just lets the air out of it.
he could pleasure a female that way, but I'm sure he can't. Like, he can't orgasm.
Do your testicles control your orgasm?
No, but if your cock won't get hard, you're probably not having any semen coming through there. There's no
What
ejaculate.
about those people that can't stop ejaculating?
I've never heard of that. You watching some weird shit, bro.
No, it's like 300 times a day.
Involuntarily,
Yeah, it just happens every like 20 seconds.
it just
Man.
like leaks out.
It's a disease. They can't stop.
That's a
orgasming.
hell of a
Yeah,
disease.
it's a hell of a disease. Why don't we have? Never
I
mind.
watched a documentary on it. And the guy literally was like crying.
Of course you did.
What
Of
were you
course
searching when you
did.
found that?
Of course you watch a documentary about somebody coming all day.
I don't even know after that point. Is it just?
It's probably not pleasurable.
Yeah, I know. He's like crying in the documentary.
I don't know.
I mean, I'll send it to you.
No,
You
I
wanna-
don't.
you wanna watch
I
it?
trust you.
No, I don't want the 400 other things that are going to come along with that thing. So no.
Yeah, I trust you.
I believe that you are telling the truth on that one.
I looked up. I don't know how we were. I didn't look it up. I don't know how it came up this morning, but I told Sky, we were in the kitchen, and I go, look up Buck Angel. You know who Buck Angel is?
I do not,
So he's a dude
dude,
with a vagina.
with the vajayjay.
He was he transitioned long ago. He's a porn star, and people used to talk shit about James and be like Buck Angel because they're both bald and they're both fucking pretty big and shit. That's where I'd heard it. People, making memes or whatever. So he has now since detransitioned. I don't know. He's not really for trans rights. Him and Blair White. Like, I've never seen like Blair White wake up in the morning, but she looks attractive, but I think there's still a penis there, right? So I'm like, look up Buck Angel. And he looked up Buck Angel, and it says that he's a right-wing extremist, MAGA, all this shit, right? Nowhere in the fucking search did it go, he's a tranny, and he was a porn star, and he's got a vagina.
Was he woman to man back to woman?
So I don't,
Yeah. Well,
I
if he had
don't,
a vagina, yeah.
there's a full pussy there.
Yeah, probably woman.
So he's a
to
woman
man,
that became a
back-
dude. I'm not sure how that went, or if that's a manufactured vagina. I don't know. But it's just a trip that this person that was out there all over, like the beginning of Facebook and stuff, there was always people making memes and shit about it and talking shit. And now all of a sudden he's like, the Google list doesn't say, hey, that's a porn star. None of that shit. It says he's fucking right-wing extremist MAGA.
Did you see the Dylan Mulvaney thing that just happened?
No, but I did see some pictures after all the Budweiser collapse. I saw Dylan Mulvaney was out there with a full beard and shit.
It was fake. Well, she
He,
is in Peru, went to Peru, and did this whole spiel about how didn't feel safe in America and needed to recenter herself, and just this whole thing about how wonderful Peru is and all that shit. And did that whole thing, and then like the next day, Peru came out and said homosexuality or
throwing him for the roofs.
basically was like, hey, it's a mental illness.
So
So nobody's heard from her since they came out and said it's a mental illness.
look, if you want to be called a female or whatever. But the question I always ask that nobody answers: do you have a penis or a vagina? That's all. Like, what's there? If you want everybody to believe that you're a girl, that dude started with a penis, and if you want us to believe that has your nuts been removed, do you have your penis still? Like, are you that committed? Or because if not, you're just you're a cross dresser or whatever.
Again, I don't have an opinion on it. I don't care. Whatever you're going to do in South Florida is.
So
fine with you.
what would have happened had a tranny showed up here this weekend?
What would happen? Nothing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Nothing would have fucking happened.
Nothing.
And if you were a really good tranny, dudes would have been looking at you like, that's a hot fucking bitch. But if you got some like, if you stuffed your titties wrong
Well, I mean,
with some
you
wrinkled
had
up paper,
I mean, you had a. Would he have?
that was a dude.
No, I know.
He wasn't pretending to be a girl. The dude with the dress.
Yeah.
We had a dude. We had the biggest fucking black man you have ever seen, like professional
But I mean, was
football, right?
That was last SR, right?
No,
Yeah,
no. This was an employee. I hired this guy.
But wasn't his point to? Wasn't he attempting to be a female?
I think he was gay,
I mean, he's definitely gay.
cross-dressing. Okay.
Okay.
So he was dating the Tiger King,
Yeah.
and dude came in, not like you didn't like, oh, this dude's gay. He's just a big fucking black dude. It's like, I want a job. I can sew. We're like, sit on the sewing machine and show me that you can sew. He was here about a week, and then he showed up in a red dress and high heels. And I'm like, who the fuck is that? Like I didn't think, I'm like, who the fuck is that? And it was him. And we're just like, what the fuck? Nobody said shit though. And he worked for another month maybe. And then he shows up with this, he keeps talking about his boyfriend, daddy. He keeps talking about daddy. Daddy is coming here from Louisiana or Mississippi or something. So one day he's all excited and he's living up here in the hotel after the hotel has closed. So he's living in the abandoned hotel. Daddy shows up and he's literally the Tiger King. Like he's this scrawny little, he's got cut off sleeves and it wasn't no big deal. Like I didn't, whatever, but Daddy started coming to work earlier and earlier and hanging out in the parking lot. And then Daddy shows up and I come out and he's parked next to the fence and he has crackhead shit. Like, dude, like a crackhead nest. He's got hundreds pieces of fucking random shit all out, laid out on my gravel. And then there's a dog and he's talking shit. And somebody's like, hey, he's like, I'm going to shoot that dog. If that dog comes over and attacks my dog, his dog's on this side of the fence. My dogs are going fucking nuts. And I'm like, hey, that dude can't come here anymore. Stop having him come here. And then the dude fucking shows up a couple days later, the big black guy with a fucking big old black eye. We're like, what the fuck? Daddy beat me up. Daddy beat me up. Like this dude, it's literally like, if I don't know fucking football players, but you take the biggest fucking brother football player, you take Shaquille O'Neal. It's like Shaquille O'Neal and the Tiger King whipped his ass. And he came in a couple times, like just fucking claw marks on his face and like black eyes and like beat the shit. And they both got arrested over some shit. And that was kind of the last time we saw they called him Cat Dog.
Yeah, cat dog.
And he was
cat dog.
Like, whatever, man. He fucking produced. There was no until the bullshit started. There was no problem with that dude.
Yeah, cat dog.
I think if someone like that would have shown up at SRF, there wouldn't have been.
That's my point. There wouldn't be no point. There would be no
You
problem.
would have wanted them in here to talk.
I would love to interview some fucking transvestite. Like, I'm curious to have the conversation. I want to know what kind of commitment is there? Like, what is really, do you plan to have the surgery? What's involved in the surgery? Like, because my understanding is when you have a sex change, you can never have an orgasm. And then if you have the penis created, maybe it's the other way around, but you have to, in order to be able to urinate through the flesh, they have to use these rods, like fucking 10 times a day. Every day you have to stretch that urethra, the pee hole. But I would think if they fabricated that out of other tissue, I would think that there wouldn't be nerve endings in there.
I don't know. Don't ask me. It's a dumb even idea to think about it.
It's fucking wild, dude. But dude, so they do it in Nashville, right? Nashville, Vanderbilt got busted out over this. But the amount of money that is involved in this shit is fucking
it's always about that.
astronomical.
It's always about money. It's always about money. Fuck that. Keep the penis. Pretend like it's a vagina.
So they're passing all these laws right now that there's no cell phones in schools. There are several states that have now passed this. So your kids, when they get to school, they have to power their phone off and turn it in. So the administrators have the kid's phone. the speculation is that so that there can be no documentation of what's being said and taught to your children, and then they're going to keep promoting and pushing all this fucking gender bullshit.
Maybe.
I can take my dog to doggy daycare.
And watch it 24 hours.
24 hours a day, I can see my fucking dog. But you can't see your fucking kid at school.
I mean, there's plus and minus to that, because the reality is, if a school had cameras in the classroom where you could watch those things 24 hours a day, there's going to be fucking gross dudes that are watching it 24 hours a day, beating off to fucking kids in school. That's the reality of it.
Those same gross dudes would be sitting across the street with binoculars beating off anyways.
Well, I'd much rather have them across the street with binoculars than tapped into the fucking school. I mean, it's just, I don't.
If you had a child, if you had
the argument, if you have a child and your child is going to any school system in the world, you don't need a fucking camera to get the curriculum.
It's not about the curriculum.
You don't need
it's about the crazy shit that the teacher is saying to those kids. That's see, when COVID all happened and kids were online schooling, that's when this shit unraveled, because the parents are standing beside the kid and they're like, what did that motherfucker just say?
Okay. Again, that you take that chance every time your child interacts with anybody on the planet.
It's true, but you choose who your children fucking for the most part interact with as we're young and molding them.
I don't know. I don't feel like that. I don't feel like a teacher is the one that's making the decision. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, I went through public school.
It was different.
I didn't transition.
It was different. We had some gay people at school. It was always the softball coach. It was always the softball or the volleyball coach. Yeah, it was always. It was the butch. You knew she was gay.
Have you seen all those memes where it's like where they show the hot school teacher? They show the hot school teacher, and they're like, school teachers now, and then they show they show Rambo. This is what they show a picture of Rambo with his butt. This is what our female coaches look like.
They just had. I just saw something this morning. I follow the New York Post for some reason. I don't know, but I see it all the time. And it's always very anti-Trump shit and stuff like that. And they had this chick, and there's a mugshot, and she was on a staycation somewhere and got in a hot tub and had sexual relations with two kids from a hockey team. They were, I think, 16, 17 years old. Whatever.
Best night of their lives.
Yeah, we'd have been like, man, lucky kid.
Oh, man. I mean... The rules here's the thing: the rules apply equally, or they're not, or they don't apply. So
if you found out your 17-year-old son bent some 35-year-old lady out on a vacation, are you going to press charges?
No, I am sure that in that scenario it was not the fathers who were like.
Probably not.
I am sure that the fathers were not even in the equation of, let's prosecute this school teacher. But again, that is coming from a male perspective, right? We're looking at it from a male perspective,
right?
Where it's a male fantasy.
Yeah, it wasn't our daughter.
But it wouldn't be it wouldn't be the same thing if it was your 17-year-old, your young daughter. So
it's true.
I don't know. That's just how the world is. The reality is, men and women are not the same.
That's right, because they're not equal.
No, they're not. They're not equal.
There we go. All right. Somebody's fucking mad right now.
Definitely not that sailor who ran her ship aground that burned to the sea.
The third one. Did you see the chick they had? Did you see the chick? I don't know how this got busted out or what the relevance of it was, but there's a guided missile cruiser in the United States Navy. I believe it's a guided missile cruiser. Female running the ship. And there's a big to do over. She had a Dish Network fucking dish.
Oh yeah. That was the. She wasn't the captain or anything. She was the senior enlisted personnel aboard that ship, and she allowed the chiefs. Because here's the thing, that story sucks, and it sucks that story sucks. But the reality is, that was the chiefs. It was all the chiefs on the ship. The thing that the secret of the Navy is the chiefs really run the Navy.
Well, the Filipino chiefs.
Well,
run the
no,
Navy.
the chiefs. Period. Like you go through an initiation to become a fucking chief, and when you become a chief, life aboard ship completely changes.
It's like being a Freemason.
It is almost that way. Like they have their own mess.
Do you know any Freemasons?
I don't. I mean, I might know some, but I don't
Because I'm
know.
not supposed to talk about it.
Yeah. They have their own mess. They get their own food. They don't eat sailor food. So I guarantee you all the chiefs were like, hey boss, we just got this Dish Network. It'd be really cool if we could watch the shit down. Cause we chiefs, what's up? They use the influence and the power of being chiefs to get that thing on there. And unfortunately for her, she was in charge. And she gave him the nod, and so that's what fucked him.
What's the big hubbub over it? It can be tracked or something.
No, it can be tracked, but they were also using it. You know, the problem with an inch is an inch is on a ruler, and a ruler can be really big, and so they got it. They got the Dish Network, but then they started using it for internet. They put internet hubs all over the ship, so the chiefs could walk around and fucking do chief shit on their own private little internet. Well, that gave access through the satellite to the entire ship.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So how did this get busted out?
Someone
Russia. We found out. So fucking
Well,
China
they
had the info.
no, they kind of say. Here's the thing. They kind of say that someone found a cable that was going up to the mast that shouldn't have been. But that's bullshit because they had internet hubs on the fucking ship. So you as the captain would have went, fucking Chiefs mess.
What's this Wi-Fi hub?
What's this fucking Chiefs mess Wi-Fi hub? And so
We have one sitting right there in that window.
yeah, they basically did some shit, and then eventually
So somebody on board.
somebody saw it and busted. It was probably, you know what? The reality is, it was probably some fucking lonely seaman that was like, these motherfuckers got this Wi-Fi going. We can't be on it. I guarantee you it was some
So
underling that busted them out.
Do all the chiefs are all their quarters like right next to each other? Is like this is
Yeah,
the
they
chief.
sleep in their own berthing space.
What's the inside of a ship? Is it like it's not wooden walls, right? We can't just drill through them.
No, it's metal. It's metal. But there's attachment. There's attachment points everywhere. So all they did is attached it to another piece of equipment.
Yeah, so-
Probably spray painted it fucking gray so it looked like everything else and shit. I guarantee that it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but I don't believe that this firing, I don't believe her firing had anything to do with gender and had everything to do with the chief mafia. That it was because it wasn't like she set this.
She had to be sacrificed.
Yeah, it wasn't like she set this motherfucker up herself. The Chiefs had fucking sailors pinning all this shit on the wall and putting it up. So it's that thing. I will say the good thing about it is, or I don't know, because she didn't take responsibility, but the reality is that's an example of. She was the senior person aboard ship. She was the senior chief aboard ship. She should have, instead of allowing them to convince her to put that in, she should have said, bros, violation of fucking Navy order, blah, blah, blah. We're not putting that motherfucker on the ship. I don't care if you don't like me. Because I guarantee you that's what part of the decision that was made was, I need all these motherfuckers to like me. A dude wouldn't have done that. A dude would have been like, well, I don't want to say a dude, because some of them do dumb shit like that. But I guarantee that was part of the decision, her decision process. That violation happened under her watch. She was a senior person, so she should have been, even if she didn't know about it, it's her ship. Sorry, you should have known about it.
Why should it fall on her then and not somebody above her?
There's nobody above her. From a enlisted perspective, there's nobody
okay.
above her. That's like
Yeah, still though, there's an
that's
XO
like-
and a CO of the ship.
yes, but in the Navy, the chiefs run those ships, not the CO and the XO. So for her, that was where the buck stopped.
So
meaning
do we know what happened to her?
Oh, I don't know. So they probably just moved her to another ship. I mean, well, I do know what happened. She lost the. What the Navy did was they did some punitive stuff, but she lost the ability to ever command a ship again. She'll never be in that position again. And I think she lost some rank. So she got fucked up for it. And the question would be, did any of the other chiefs get fucked up for it? Now,
When's the last time you've been on a Navy vessel?
oh God, it's been fucking years. Years and years. They still, you still had to push the oars out the side and.
You want to take a tour?
No, I don't want to go on a fucking. I don't even want to go on a Walt Disney cruise. I don't want to be on a goddamn
Not
ship.
underway. Like, would you go like to one of these fucking big carriers or destroyers or battleships or somewhere? And
I mean,
walk
yeah.
around?
Why? You want to go down to
I want to. Yeah.
USS Alabama?
Where is that?
You know, it's in Alabama.
I'd love to see it. What is it? A battleship?
Battleship. Yeah.
Love to see it.
Yeah.
I follow some YouTube channels, and it's this historical group that is refitting these things and keeping them afloat, you know, chipping paint and shit. I just think, it'd be cool to see just how the perspective of how fucking massive that thing is.
Yeah, it'd be cool to go see a battle. The cool thing would be because it's a New Jersey class, so it's the last of the modern battleships. The cool thing is when you go up to the conning tower, you go up to and see how thick those walls are. Like, it's fucking unreal that thing even floats, because it's just,
Is it currently sitting in water?
yeah, it's sitting in water.
Yeah.
All the World War II battleships are in water. The Texas may still be out of water, which is a World War I battleship. They had to take it out of water because it was leaking. But I don't know. It might be back in the.
Like, these things
Might
are
be
so
back.
big, we couldn't even fit them on the property here.
No. You couldn't. Maybe the Texas, but not a New Jersey class. It's as big as a fucking aircraft carrier.
Dude, how awesome would that be? Have a Navy ship on your property, and you just fucking built an apartment in there?
Be like Secondhand Lions. They have the little pond with the big ass yacht in it.
So I was trying to find a movie the other day, and I thought it was Secondhand Lions, and I kept watching all these clips. You know, we give Isaac a hard time all the time. But there's a scene in a movie, and I can't find the movie. These older dudes are remembering themselves as youngsters, or they become youngsters, and they're in like a general store or something, and like,
Secondhand Lions.
is that what it is?
Yeah, they get in the fight, the knife fight.
No, not that one. He's like he punches these older kids come in talking shit to the younger kids, and they fucking bullying this kid around, and one of the younger kids cracks him in the mouth. He goes, only we can say that about ourselves, or, you know, something.
Oh yeah,
like that.
I don't know. That's a
I
different.
cannot find,
It's
but I
different.
started watching these clips from Secondhand Lions, and man, there's some good shit in that movie.
Yeah, it's a good.
too.
That is a good movie. They need to make more movies like that.
They don't
No,
they don't want fucking youngsters.
Positive male role
they
models.
do not want that.
Yeah, no positive male role models.
All right.
Is that it? Oh, what are we? What is this? 173?
What episode is
What
it?
is this?
Actually?
173 or 174?
89.
89, my ass. Come on, no way.
December
No way.
December 7th. You guys make sure you get that on the calendar. We're gonna have some VIP.
We're gonna do kamikazes in the parking lot.
We're gonna
so-
have some VIP slots available, some packages, and that'll get
What would
you
a
some,
VIP? What would a VIP slot gain you?
some one-off gear.
Oh, one-off gear.
I'm
see that.
talking to Strider about having a run of knives, so they'll
Oh,
get first option on those knives, and then
By
some-
December 7th?
well, they're kind of in motion already.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, plus, I mean, I like to see people work miracles that have never been worked.
I don't know if Strider can work that kind of miracle.
I bet they can.
I don't know if they can.
I bet they can.
That's a big miracle.
We got-
Well, Josh, never mind.
We got a buddy that's flying in from Germany,
Nice.
so I mean, that's cool.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool if the prince would show up in a helicopter.
It'd just be cool if the prince showed up.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool too. All his security detail wearing SOE sweatshirts.
That would be awesome. I mean, you really don't want a helicopter landing here right now, especially when we have fucking
We don't-
400 people.
We
here.
don't even have a place to land a helicopter here.
Yeah, next door. They land it all the time.
Oh, well, next door. Yeah.
But
he
I
can
mean,
land over
still, the fucking prop wash and
there. He
shit.
can land it over there. Yeah. Nice. All right.
All right, guys.
December 7th.
December 7th. Redcon 1, code SOE Gary, get you 25% off. EMP Shield, code SOE, get you $50 off your order. Make sure you use any of our links in our videos to our Amazon link. If you populate that first, click to Amazon, we'll get a small percentage of your order. So that helps us out. Dog Kennel Little Spoon, make sure you're following
Yeah, follow Dark Kennel Little
Patreon
Spoon.
and the YouTube channel there. And we're going to go over and do Patreon questions now. We basically build these videos based off the questions that you guys ask on Patreon. So that's what we're about to do here. Thanks for the participation here. And we will see you guys shortly. Man, I got quite the radio voice going on there, don't I? Because I want to dance like Uma Thurman. I don't... Well, hello. Hello. It's the ladies, man. What is your sexual query?